about styling. Health. What's health with juniper? What do we associate health with? Foliage. Okay, so we need to develop a lot more foliage on our tree. Okay, we can see here, the question was asked, is this a healthy tree? I was like, yeah, it's fine, it's absolutely great. If we look at the growth that we've had this year, we've had a lot of good growth. I mean, this has probably only been out of the mountains for maybe 2 years tops. Okay, but we've got a very, very deep green colour, lots of health, we've got some good extensions, so it's a healthy tree. What we'll see with this tree over the next couple of years is once the energy from the foliage has been able to put on some roots, we're going to see an exponential rise in growth. So the more roots the tree has, the more the foliage can pump. The more the foliage can pump, the more roots get generated, and then we just get into the cycle where it just speeds up and it starts growing more and more and more and more. Okay? The more foliage we have, the more foliage you can then put on. Okay, then the more foliage we have, then we can start thinking about styling. Okay, in terms of styling it, how are we going to work it? We've only got a couple of branches. We've got one here and then we've got this one down here which is kind of old and we're kind of sparse. So what I would be looking to do is to think, is this going to survive? Right, we give this a year, maybe a year and a half. If this starts to put on some considerable foliage, then we can start thinking about using that as part of the overall design of the tree. If not, then we need to start thinking about something else. But immediately we can start to look to try and show, we've got the live vein sort of coming around the back here. So what we're going to have to do is try and find perhaps a front where we can see the live vein sort of coming out of the soil, sort of working its way up. Around the back there, we can create an apex and some branches in here, and then using this branch, if this will strengthen up and become usable. If not, then if we're just going to be dealing with this bunch of foliage here, then we're going to have to start thinking about something else. Okay, could be quite difficult if that branch doesn't survive, but my gut feeling is it's going to be fine. Okay. How do we style Sabinas? How are they slightly different from other junipers? Okay. What we see with Sabinas particularly is you'll get from one node, particularly on the trunk and on the branches here, you'll start to see lots of shoots coming from the base here. With other junipers, you're always taught get rid of all of these tiny little shoots and clean those out, so we've only got sort of 2 branches. Okay, if you do that with Sabina, particularly when they're early on in development, then you're going to weaken it by taking out too many of those shoots. So allow maybe sort of 3, 4 shoots to develop from that one node. Don't allow 5, 6, 7, 8 to grow, because otherwise it's just going to get too dense, and we're not going to develop sort of good some usable branches. But don't be too obsessed about getting only 2 branches coming from one point. Utilise its natural kind of growth habit to send out lots of shoots from one area in order to sort of build up some bulk there. The other thing you have to be careful of with Sabina is if it flowers too much. Okay, so some collected trees particularly will have a propensity to flower rapidly, so you can see there's some flowers. If you can see those there, maybe have a close look afterwards, but there's flowering there. If your juniper flowers, of any variety, not just Sabina, but if it flowers, then the tip where the flower was stops growing. Okay, it stops. Once it's lost the growing tip, it doesn't start again. Okay, so if your tree flowers a lot, if you have a juniper that does that, what you will experience is you won't get lots and lots of extension. You get lots of flowers, and then that foliage there next year will die off. And so it starts to become leggy. So all of this internal foliage that flowers a lot sort of dies off, and then you're only left with a little bit of growth at the tip that just keeps extending, and all of the foliage on the inside kind of dies off. Does that make sense? Yeah? You sure? Alright, so if you see a juniper around that's got lots and lots of flowers on it, walk away. It doesn't matter how good it looks, how lovely it looks, walk away. Right? That's one of the problems with buying and collecting material. Stuff that flowers a lot can be very, very difficult to cultivate. Okay, and it's very difficult to stop them flowering because it's in their DNA to do so. Okay. Okay, so what we should be looking to do with this, build up lots and lots of foliage on it, and then perhaps look at a more correct planting angle. So either like that, to kind of utilise all the dead wood on there. Yeah, if we can build that up, would be good. In terms of the question was asked about winter care, what I would do is just make sure it doesn't get frosted too badly. Other than that, it should be okay. So I would just keep the rain off it, keep the frost off it, and it should be fine. And the ones that I have, some of them last year, some of them were in a polytunnel, some of them were outside, undercover, some of them were outside, just with full rain and things on it, and it didn't really seem to make that much difference to any of them. Right, they like a lot of water. They are subjected to very, very sort of cold conditions in the wild. They get covered in snow, so they're really quite hardy. But I would just keep the majority of the frost on it. Something like this, you can just put in the polytunnel or put somewhere shaded, sheltered. It still needs sunlight, so don't put it anywhere too dark, and you should be okay. But just leave it to grow for another year to build up a lot more bulk. Don't pinch anything off. Just allowing that to grow will help that to become healthy. Right, so don't pinch anything off that for a year, and then just allow that to build up. Okay, and then look at perhaps finding an interesting plant angle like that, where you get to see all of the dead wood. Okay.